our next guests are three Abu Dhabi residents who have developed an app to make mental health services more accessible to UAE residents. We've been speaking about this so much that really since COVID-19, I think it really came to the forefront that people need to monitor their mental fitness, and we really need to start just talking about this openly without judging people, so that that people can learn to open up and find the support they need.
No, you're absolutely right when you say that, Kish, because the classic difference between physical health and mental health is physical health. The moment you have a mild headache, you'll throw a tantrum and let the world know that you have a headache. Be it your boss, be it your colleague, be it your partner. You'll be like, listen, I have a headache, I can't do anything. But when it's about mental health, you're just going to keep it mum. You're not going to talk about it to anyone just because of the fear of being judged.
Yeah, it's a big problem. Specifically, I know, and we often talk about this amongst Australian men. We're a culture where we don't open up and talk. So,
right.
Leaving that aside, we've got these great guests we've got to get to. We've got Viktorija Aksinova, the co-founder of MindTales, Rasha Hassan Ahmed, and also Jenna Kleinvorts, who are joining us, that have done this amazing work to come up with MindTales. Thank you very much for joining us here in the studio. Well, it's great to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure to be here.
So, Viktorija, obvious question. What drove you, what inspired you to really want to develop this app, MindTales?
Yeah, so actually it's all started from my personal need. Like 1 year and a half ago, I was looking for a support system for myself. And actually I couldn't find anything affordable and accessible.
That's right.
And then I decided, okay, why not to do it by myself? And that's how the whole idea started. And then I met my team members, so it's always good to have a great team on such a project.
Right. So when you say that you were looking for a support system, and you mentioned a very important point that it's not inexpensive. It is expensive in this part of the world, and most of our insurances don't cover it. So we need to look for who's available and at what price. So what does MindTales bring to the table for someone like all of us?
Yeah, so exactly when I was thinking about like what kind of solution should we provide. So mental health is not like one size fits all.
Right.
So that's why we decided to focus on a full stack solution. So first we need to provide education materials and the assessment, like actually understand like, okay, how do I feel? Like, do I know, like, is it anxiety or just like I feel a bit stressed? So we incorporate all those like assessment and quizzes within our app, within our platform. And then depending on those assessments, then we provide recommendations. So we have a digital activities, including like meditation, breathing, and games based on cognitive behavioral therapy. And then if person wants a bit more guidance, so then we have access to wellness coaches and counselors within the platform. So everything is in one solution.
It's a great idea. I know, I'm honest about it. I was quite new to Dubai when COVID-19 and lockdown hit, and then Australia closed its borders. And I felt really isolated to the point where I wanted to speak to a counsellor, and then I saw the price here in the UAE, and I actually ended up speaking to a counsellor in Australia. It was about a third of the price of here.
That's right, yeah.
I'm not trying to put any counsellors out of business here, but I think this is a problem people face, and why something like MindTales is a great option. To you, Rasha, I want to know your thoughts. It's certainly come a long way, mental health, but culturally, certainly in this part of the world, what more can we do to have it more widely accepted and people openly be willing to share and talk about their problems?
Actually,
we'll get you just in closer to the microphone, yeah.
We need to spread more awareness and try, as we in MindTales doing, we are trying to destigmatize the mental health talk, so everyone would feel safe to talk about his mental health issue or mental health.
I think that's what's great about the app. They can take that first step.
Exactly.
Rather than, like we all do, go to Dr. Google and realise we're dying of everything just because we've stubbed our toe and it's a red inflamed thing that we think is going to kill us. Here's actually a formal part where you can actually look as that first step to get help. So it's a great initiative, isn't it?
We are trying just to change that concept of the first thing that a person thinks of is pills when he or she feels depressed or anxious, pills, and that's it. But there are other solutions.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I mean, it's a very interesting point again that you make, that, a conversation could be better than having pills. But then to market something like this, to go about and tell the story that, hey, we have a product like this, MindTales, that will, help you before you take the drastic step of just popping a pill. How has it been? And John, this is a question for you. I'm sure that, there are roadblocks in such things, such concepts, when you have to go out in the world and tell them, listen, hang on, you don't need to worry, you need to come to our app. How has the journey of, from the media, the PR perspective been?
Yeah, so first of all, we have to spread awareness, you
Right.
know, and facilitate this open discourse on mental health. And it is difficult
It
because
is.
sometimes you should not use certain words, or you need to be sensitive and see who you're talking to. But even among your friends, you start on a different level, individual level. You promote mental health, you make them feel comfortable addressing certain issues. And the same in the workplace, we try to facilitate a more healthy work environment where
Right.
you can address your issues. So first of all, we practice in our own team,
Nice.
in our co-working space in Hub 71 in Abu Dhabi, and then, step by step, one level further.
Well, it is a fascinating insight, because we spend, a third of our lives at work,
Right.
and we need to have healthy workplaces
Yes.
and open places where we can talk and know how to speak openly about things, and also how to set boundaries. I'm more interested yet, what is it like at your workplace? Is that the first thing you set up as a business, was your employee wellbeing plan?
Yes,
Yeah, probably.
We're trying to have an open conversation, and when you feel overwhelmed or stressed at work, you can address any of your colleagues and talk to them about it, find solutions together. Because even if you have somebody in your team who's stressed, it will affect the whole team and the whole output.
Right. And do you give free chocolates at work?
We get chocolates.
There you go. See,
See-
chocolate it is, Every time anyone is sad, upset, depressed, anxious, chocolate it is. It
So-
works.
Yeah, but it's also a short-term fix, right? But
Yeah.
even exercise, like setting healthy working hours, like
Right.
shutting off your phone after
Yeah,
work. try to-
Neil has a nickname of Sweets, so
Yeah, I got
anything-
that
all right,
idea.
yeah. Whereas our producer Pranav, he's got great wellbeing today, because his nickname's Freebie, and he just got a free football jersey from the football team who were in earlier,
And now a bag.
and now a bag from MindTales as well.
There you go, yeah.
You see, so
It's his day today.
Yeah, but on a serious note, so what are some of the tools that people can use on a day-to-day basis if they download the app?
Yeah, so we have different. We have different self-help tools, different exercises, breathing exercises, meditation exercises. There's different wellness tracks designed for everyone. If you download the app, it's catered to you. But there are certain tools. For example, if you have a conflict at work, you can just do a quick meditation, stress relief, or a breathing exercise, and then you feel calmer, and then you can address the conflict at work differently after you've done it. Or you do a motivational booster before a job interview, before a presentation at work that is challenging,
Interesting.
and then the results will be better immediately.
Oh, this is really, really amazing the way you're tackling it. It's not very clinical, but it's very approachable for a normal person, because the moment you start talking about taking help, that there'll be someone who'll probably making you do a certain set of exercises, or probably answering a few questions which you may not be comfortable. But then, hey, if I have some simple solutions, it just works. But then, is it catered to a certain age group, or do you go down to, say, child mental health well-being also? Because today's time, I mean, it's so competitive that the examinations and more followers on Instagram, lesser views on TikTok, all of these also put an excessive pressure on the kids. Is that something that you are looking into as well?
Yeah, so Victoria, so what are the guys, the average age, I guess? Who's
I'm
your
sure,
main
yeah.
target that are using the app?
So actually we're focusing on different categories of people. So actually like people who plus 12 years old can use MindTales app.
Okay.
And at the same time we focus with the corporates as well, and
Right.
provide a different solution to them, because I think in this case we can get more people and more
Makes sense.
impact. But the whole journey, and if you download MindTales app, it's really focused on gamification. It's the colors, the games. It's like 5 to 10 minutes exercise to complete. We have points and badges as well when you complete certain activities. So we really make it more lighthearted and as a game rather than like something more difficult.
It's a credit to you, because I think that certainly when I left Australia in 2019, that the push was there for mental health and wellbeing, like in a lot of Western countries. And I think that thanks to the work of many people like you, you know, over the last couple of years, what we've seen about people's mental health and well-being and mindset has just grown astronomically. And I think it's partly because people come here, and I'm an example of it. You don't have the support network that you do, certainly for expats.
True.
You don't have the support network that you would back home. So you tend to think, oh, I'm the only person in Dubai who hasn't got any friends, because all I see everyone on social media going to brunches. Then, you know, over the years I've been here, I've kind of dug a bit deep and I've realised everyone is so kind of feels they're on the outside quite often in this part of the world.
True. I mean, see, social media technically shows a different picture altogether, and that's what we want to show to the world. But from within ourselves, I mean, it's a classic example of, you know, one's mental state. You want to show the world one picture, but from within, you know what you are. But then again, see, when you're doing this, to each its own. It's like, it's not like one size fits all, right? How has that been a challenge for you guys to sort and give answers to literally everything that's come your way?
Yeah, it must be hard having the content for different languages or different cultures. We'll get to you, Russia. How have you found it to tailor the app between for expats or for, you know, people from this part of the world?
Yeah, actually, I am in charge of the Arabic content on the application, and sometimes I find it a bit challenging to just like have the same content in Arabic and English, because we are providing to people from different background. So I try to use simple Arabic language and simple terminologies which everyone can understand. And yeah, we have coaches who speak more than 5 languages on the application.
Nice.
So we have people who speak, coaches who speak Ukrainian, Russian, Arabic, English, Italian.
So you can have a one-on-one session via the app. Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. I have a very, a very basic question, but still, it's something that caught my eye from the time I got handed this bag over. The colors that you've used for your brand, you know, it's mauve, purple, you know. Who was behind the mindset over the planning behind these colors? Because these are not very regular brand colors. It's not a stark blue, bright red. It's a beautiful purple mauve kind of a mix. What was the thought behind this?
Yes, so thank you for noticing. So
Thank
we spent a lot of time on the colors. So when initially we had this idea, so we did more than 100 interviews with users, and to decide on that kind of shade of purple, it took us some time. So we're happy that.
No, I mean,
we acknowledge that.
This definitely caught my attention right on, and I'm glad that you used this color.
Yeah, I agree. I was looking at it going, oh, it reminds me of my lavender candles I have at home. Because it's quite relaxing. And you've also done well because the guys from MindTales in the studio have brought stress balls. I can guarantee you these are going to be used every day for our corridor cricket games. Right? So in terms of, you know, de-stressing on mindfulness at work, you know, whenever the guys are upset, we tend to have a quick cricket game here in the corridor. So you've got something to keep us here at the Talk team very, very happy.
I mean, that'll keep us happy, and we'll keep the management also happy, because we've been playing with hard balls and we've broken a few things, and they've not been very happy with that. So yeah, this helps.
So Viktorija, Rasha and Jenna, the app is an extraordinary one. It's called MindTales. Congratulations on your work so far. You're, you know, you're giving something back to the community that's so needed. So thank you very much for working on such a great cause. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Really,
definitely.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. You're on TSB, Talk Sport Business on Talk 100.3.